Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. And we started 1 minute early for Ed because he could not handle it one more minute. Hope all is well with everybody. Who is everybody carrying today? I'm just setting this up over here because I can't get it started until I go live. We got some pretty cool topics today. Some new knives coming out we're going to talk about. Look at some pictures. I got one of them set up in the back room right now, and some really awesome looking ones. There's some really cool knives that are about to come out. I'm already in the process of trying to get my hands on a couple of them. I'm sure you guys will be pretty excited when I show you. Fair and Forge Master Blaster Deadpool one-off. Sweet. Yeah, we're going to talk about the 20K here in 1 second. What's up, Pioneer? Shane has the 220. I actually carried the 111 today, the Tucson TS 111 carbon fiber titanium and D2. And I specifically, what's up, Andrew? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Pull that right up here. So I specifically carried it because at work I have to cut these straps. They're not like heavy duty straps or anything. You know, like the band straps that you band crates and stuff with. Anyways, so I wanted something with this style blade shape. I didn't want anything with a belly because the second thing I was doing was opening boxes, and like not like 2 or 3 boxes, like a lot of boxes and a lot of straps, like hundreds. So I wanted to make sure, sorry, I was trying to get my flip-flops off. So I wanted to make sure I had something that when I'm pulling the cords out, I can snag them and, and pop them. And then I use the last one to measure the next one. And I wanted something that was going to be really good with doing this motion, getting up underneath and pulling back. Also opening boxes. And, like I said, they're not heavy duty straps or anything. So geometry's not that big of a deal as long as the edge is sharp. But the blade shape really matters with this. That was what was most important. And this is a snappy little knife. First time I ever seen this Tucson was on JT's Knife Life. He doesn't run his channel anymore, but he's had a channel for a long time. You guys probably all know who he is. Anyways, and he talked about it, and I think it was just like his first Tucson maybe, but he loved it. And I see why. It's super snappy. The action's amazing. It is kind of a sway back, but it's really good. I got the review of it coming up really soon. That was another reason why I carried it, was, for the review. Average Joe's got the MIDI DX2. EDC Journey. What's up, bud? Yes. So we hit 20K, ladies and gentlemen, 20K. We're at 20.2, so 20,200 dummies are following Neevesknives channel, and it's absolutely amazing. I do have something special for the Patreons. I have like, I'm gonna give it a choice. Obviously, I usually try to do that, but I'm going to make sure all the choices this month are amazing. I might not even give 5. I might just give like 2 or 3 because, they're just that badass. But yeah, we're, if you're not, following my Patreon, or if you want chances to win knives every month, you can join the Patreon and support Neevesknives. I am putting up content on there now. Like behind the scenes stuff. I got a new video that's actually ready to go. It's about to go up of behind the scenes. What is Patreon? So Patreon is a way for you guys to support the channel through donations. So basically you set up, you have to do at least $3. But you can pay as much as you want. Oh, and I see the donations coming in, but there was one before we started, and let me hit that one. Jimbo, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the donations. And then we got 2 more that just came in. John Evans with the 10 bones. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. We are flying. Shane, thank you, man. Man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I can't wait till we get to 200,000, Shane. Also, while Shane's in here, we're going to talk about something here in just a second that's coming up. Willow with the donation. Did Justin have the guts to do as I asked? I don't know what that means. Maybe not yet. I know if you're talking about OCD for EDC, he said there's something coming, but I don't know what it is. So you just let the cat out of the bag. I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing it's bad now. Having connection problems tonight. Not on this end. How's everybody's service? Everybody with me still? It looks good on my end. Maybe it's your internet this time. So while Shane's in here, we have a 24-hour live coming up December 3rd. 24-hour live. It's going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not doing 24 hours, but I'm going to do an hour of the 24 hours, and a whole bunch of other people, like all the channel or all the content creators, are all going to get together and do one big long 24-hour live for knife rights. It's a live marathon, and it's going to be awesome. I'm not sure what time I'm going live. As soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know, or maybe I'll know at the last minute. I'm not sure. I just told them to let me know what time. So that is going to be some fun. Stupid Florida. What was I talking about a second ago? Oh yeah, Patreon. So Patreon, basically you donate money every month out of your account, and it goes right into my Patreon account, and it's a way to support the channel. And then you're entered into monthly giveaways, but I post a video of the giveaway. So what you have to do is, because I do it so because a lot of people don't want to be in the giveaway. And some people, they're patron members, but they don't pay attention to it, or they they just don't want to be in the giveaway. So in order to narrow it down even more, right? Because if I did a giveaway, like say on the channel, you would have all kinds of people entering the giveaway. People that don't watch the channel, people that don't support the channel, people that have never, ever, ever, ever even commented or liked the video. So I don't want to take away the chances for the people that do support the channel and somebody that doesn't support the channel to win. I know it's a great way to gain support, to gain followers, but the thing is that it doesn't matter if I gain a follower if they don't support the content. If they don't watch the content, if they don't comment, if they don't like, if they don't watch or do anything like that, it doesn't benefit me at all. So it doesn't matter if they're a sub. So I'm not just trying to hoard subs off a giveaway. So this way I can do the giveaways on Patreon, and narrows it down to the amount of Patreons I have and the amount of people that want to enter it from the Patreon. It's usually, like, I think we have 75 Patreons right now, and usually 30 enter. So it's your chances are a lot better than you would think for 20,000 followers. D-Bass, thank you, man. Congrats on the 20K. Watch out, Metal Complex. Yes, watch out. I made sure to leave him a message today. Watch it, MC. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I left him I'm coming, and then with this kind of eyes. That face, the emoji with the eyes that are just flat, dead face, just that's what I gave him. I gave him like 4 of those. Or maybe it was just 1. I don't remember. But anyways, Sinister says, "Hey, tribe, sorry, I've been AWOL. I was just helping put the largest F1 race in the history of the sport. My everything hurts." Well, good for you, man. That's awesome, man. Good for you. That's amazing. The Benzo for the steak knife of the week. Hey, we're going to check out my version, or what I think of when I think of a 2021 version of a Sabenza. Hey, Stasa, what's up, bud? Stas is in the house. But yeah, man, 20K. Holy shit. So we got to do a massive giveaway for the Patreon members. So like I said, Might want to sign up for the patron if you want to be entered into the giveaways. Like I said, we're gonna have a pretty big one this month. Some real badass shit. I mean, probably the best yet. Well, I already know the best yet. So let's get into this. So, first knife we're going to check out that's new for this week because we have a bunch of new stuff, man. There's a lot of new knives dropping right now. So, I got a lot of content on just new knives we're going to check out. And the first one is a new Mazwan Mokhtar two-son button lock. Now, this looks badass to me. We got titanium bolster, even though it's a bolster, but it's not a bolster lock. The carbon fiber is always, I've never gotten bad in my car. Did I say my car? Carbon fiber. The carbon fiber on Tucson's is always amazing. Like, their carbon fiber is some of the best I've seen. And I've seen a lot of carbon fiber, but Tucson's, they kill it. They do. They really do. And this one looks awesome. And now Mazwan Mokhtar, his last, I don't know, so many designs. He's been doing a bunch of thumb stud designs. He has some amazing thumb studs. Those look very similar because this is the 300 model, the TS303. Now, this one will be available soon. It's not yet, but I'm going to show you knives that are available right now. But those thumb studs, they look the exact same as the ones I have on my 301, because the 300, like the 301, 302, 305, those are all Mazwan's designs. Now, let me strip this off really quick and see if I can't pull up this other one that just dropped. So he's got another one that just dropped. You guys might have seen this one. I'm not sure. Okay, so let me pull you guys back up. So this one is available right now. I'm actually trying to get, because I told you guys I've been talking to Tucson. I'm trying to get that button lock. I'm going to try. I asked for this one and a couple other ones. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it. Oh, there was only these two pictures. Okay, well, I'll get us some better pictures. Let me go like this. But where is it? Yeah, this one? Yeah, here we go. There it is, right there. So the only thing, I'm not a big fan of the carbon fiber inlays. There's 4 and they do go on both sides, just so you guys know. So it's not like it's just one side. So that kind of makes up for it, right? Because it's not just a one-sided thing. And you can see it's a large knife because it's the same size as the 305. I think that's the bottom one. I have the 305. I sent it to Mike Emler, or at least close to it. But I love the way the ergos look. It looks super comfortable. Closed, the hole is very open to flicking. The only thing is that I'm not a big fan of the way it upsweeps. Now, I completely agree it'll probably work great because of the way the nose canters down. It'll probably be really good for utility cuts. However, it does still kind of sweep up. I wish he would sweep them not down, but canter them down, if you guys know what I mean. Like how kind of like if you look at, does this knife do it? Kind of like this. Like if you look at this knife right here, you see how, and it's not big, but a little bit. It kind of goes down just a little bit. His kind of goes up and then the spine goes down. I'd like to see it. Does this one do it better? No. Doesn't matter, but you guys get what I'm saying. Now we got some really amazing knives to check out. So let me type some of these in and find them really quick. Because that's just one. Now, there is another new knife. Now, listen, you assholes. I don't want you guys, but I'm trying to set something up so I can get one. So don't you guys fucking buy them all on me. I'll be really upset because I think there's only a couple hundred of them. All right. You guys ready? Bang. The Tuya, what was it called? The Tuya, Big belly, the Tuya big belly. So this is the first access lock. Now look at it. It looks like an integral. I'm going to show you the pictures. This is just the video, but I think it's a carbon fiber integral with a titanium cage, or I guess it would be a frame to hold in the access lock, but it's called the Big Belly. I like the name of it. 3.3 inches, M390 steel, and it's on ceramic bearings, guys. It's a fucking access lock on ceramic caged bearings. He says it's rock solid, smooth as butter. It only weighs 3.5 ounces, and it's $279 on the website right now. And I swear to God, if you guys get every single one of them, I'm gonna be so upset because I'm trying to get one right now too. But if you look, this is the beauty to me. The spine of it is cross-cut carbon fiber. It's side-cut carbon fiber because I think it's an integral. At least one solid piece of carbon fiber. So it's an integral with, here, let me go through the pictures. So the thumb studs, oh yeah, there's the spine right there. You see how it's a cross-cut section of carbon fiber? We have a titanium milled clip. Look at the access lock. You can see how much it pokes out. You can tell you can get to those real easily. Now, yeah, it's really hot. I'm loving this thing. Then you see the writing is hidden back in there. That's so badass. Those thumb studs look good. The access lock looks good. The grind, I can't know. It's hard to tell the grind without getting it in hand. The plunge grind looks okay. Looks like you get a couple good sharpenings. That's one thing I wish Tuya would do a little bit better on some of their models, is the plunge grinds, or choils. But regardless, this thing is badass. So badass. So, I'm definitely going to try to get one. It's just, man, it's not cheap, $279. But man, Tuya, this is the thing. Tuya makes some amazing knives. I mean, like, if you guys haven't handled a Tuya, Tuya has quality like Riat. No joke. I'm not joking. Like, it's seriously it does. It reminds me of that too, Brandon. I want this play for a second while we're talking. I agree. It does remind me of a Hogue Ritter or a Benchmade Griptilian. But the style, the integral, the way the axis lock looks on ceramic caged bearings. Willow, I said Willow, please check mail and share pics if you can. I don't think I can. I mean, I can, but it's tough. I'll see if I can here in just a few minutes. Won a bid on the button lock TS338. Might see it in 2 months. That's how it works, bud. That's how it works. But you know what? At least you got one coming. That is a Maz. No, wait. That's a Mazwan, right? Or no, that's a Night Morning. I know which one you're talking about. That's one that I would get to. If we should just take a look at it really quick. Because I'm pretty sure that is a Night Morning design. We have a bunch to check out though. So I think this is this one, if I'm correct. Let me pull it up right here. Yes. Okay, so this is the knife he's talking about. Now this thing looks thick, super thick. Night Morning lately, he's really been liking the thick boys. Especially with the button lock. His other button lock was very thick. This one's got titanium, micarta, and I think it's M390 steel. But I'm not positive. No, actually, I think this one's D2, isn't it? Yeah, D2. So they're going for a lot of money though. I'd say his button locks, the one I handled, was really good. It did have some issues though. So, maybe they're just getting their button locks down. Maybe the design was bad. The build quality was amazing. So I don't think that Tucson did anything bad. I think the design had a couple little issues. That one looks solid though. but they all do until you get them in hand. Then you really find out Maurice is in the house. What's up, Maurice? Thank you for the donation, brother. Thank you. We'll leave that up for a second. So now, this is another good one. Check this out, guys. Ooh, I can't wait for this one. Let me get out of here. I gotta find it, so hang on. Be on something else. On that one, but I'm wrong. This is where it'll be. Is that it? No, that's not it, but I don't know what that is. So we're gonna show this really quick and then we'll check it out. And I see the donations. East Boy Walker, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ricardo, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank all you guys for all the donations. East Boy Walker and Ricardo Vasquez. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. So check this out. I don't know about this one. I didn't even see this one. Seth, you son of a bitch. You got me. 20 bones. Here's to 20K and the start of your savings for the Tuya. All love, brother. DM me later. I will, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate the 20 bones. By the way, Seth, excuse me. You know what? I'll just save it because I can't really put in links or anything. But he's got a bunch of stuff going on for the workshop. Thank you, Blades. Thank you, Blades and Fades. So this one I have not checked out yet. So just so you guys know, but we'll check it out. But there's another one though I want to show you. Look at this. I don't know anything about this one. Yes, 100K is coming soon. Sooner than you know. It's going to be coming fast, real fast. So this is called the Towser K. It's a brand new design from Azo. The attractive blue canyon handle features an organic curved shape that conforms to your hand for a tight grip. Unique hexagon pattern give the knife a futuristic look while more traction has been added. Let's see if we got more pictures. I can see the good. Ooh, I love that cutout. Look at that cutout. For the lock bar right here. Oh man, oh man. I can't tell, but it looks like it's 14C. No, 154 cm, 154 cm. So that looks pretty sweet. Let's see if we can get a little zoom in of the frag. Yeah, we can barely see it though, but it looks dope. It looks dope. I like it. But I gotta find this other one. There's another knife, man. You guys gotta see it. So hang on one second. Let me pull this out of here. And I will find it. Because there's something pretty amazing. Let me do this. Let's see. Would it be this one? There's so many of them that it's hard to know which one it is. Not this one. It's gonna be tough. Let me get you guys out of here really quick. Just 2 seconds, guys. Give me 2 seconds. More than 2 seconds. It's not this one. That's the same one. This one. There's a new micarta T1 coming. That's what I'm trying to show you guys, but I can't find the Kaiser site I found it on. It's not coming up. There's 100 different Kaiser fucking sites. Oh, I wonder if it was maybe, you know what, let me try this. I wonder if it was on here actually that I seen it. Yes, I found it. Found it. All right, check this out. Bang! A new Kaiser T1 in Kaiser's amazing micarta. I named it right away. They said another exclusive is coming. Name it if you recognize it. I said I can name that right now. The Kaiser T1 was originally a titanium frame lock. In my opinion, one of Kaiser's nicest or best knives. I think it was just amazing. Amazing thumb stud action, by the way. Crispy detent, super slicey, just had everything going for it. And hard to beat, man. Hard to beat for just a basic EDC. Now, we got more to go through, so oh, this is the one I'm probably most excited about, I'll be honest. So, I'll just show it to you guys now. This is the one I'm most excited about. All right. MC. Thank you, man. 20 bones. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. The micarta T1 is supposed to be in production in December. Awesome. Awesome. Well, guess what? This one I'm about to show you guys will be up for pre-order. Not for sale yet, but for pre-order on Saturday. And it's hard for me not to do this because I've been wanting a Liang Ma, and he has a new field duty in 3.5 inch blade S90V. You guys can read it yourself. He's only going to do micarta and titanium, but that's the configuration I want. That's what I wanted. I don't want any of the other shit. This is exactly what I want. So since it's already exactly the way I want, it's hard not to get this. I don't know how much it's going to be, but I'm guessing it's going to be like $350. You know, basically the same prices as other ones. I know that's a lot of money, and yeah, it just, it is a lot of money. It's not cheap, but some of the other knives we showed were a little bit cheaper, but this one's definitely not one of them. But damn it, is it awesome. So this Saturday, guys, I gotta get it. I don't know if I'll have the funds, but that's when the pre-order starts. I don't know how long it'll go for. I'm guessing it's just going to be quick because you know how those things go. Vinny with the 5 bones, for the 20K, dummies. Thank you, man. Thank you. Can you believe we got over 20,000 dummies following this channel? What the hell's wrong with all of you? G-Ball says, I may go holiday first and snag the 1929 after. I just got off a kick of buying smaller knives. I did snag a few bigger ones along the way. I like this Tigress from CJRB, and I got the non-flipper sheepdog. Yeah, the non-flipper sheepdog is a winner. But I wonder. Well, you said the smaller knives, so I'm guessing you're talking about the Finch knives because those are all pretty small. What person with the small willy has down like this video? We always get a couple dislikes. They don't like my cussing. I don't even know if I've been cussing, but I'm guessing that's the reason why. But I did get. I posted a short because I posted that Rockstead short, and I got like a whole bunch of comments of like people like acting. And obviously they didn't check out the channel whatsoever, and they left a comment, but they're all talking as if I only review rock studs or something. Like as if you can't find budget knives on my channel. Like they're all like trying to tell me, oh, that's ridiculous. And like you could get a knife way, like for this much money. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Have you looked at my channel, bruh? Have you looked at my channel? So I posted a short of some amazing budget knives, and maybe we'll talk about some here in a minute because there's always amazing budget knives coming. Talica, he's downvoting now. He's with the downvotes. He does not like talking about rock studs, I guess. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. I messed everything up. Sorry. I don't even have my things brought up, so I don't know what I did. I clicked something and clicked something else. Guess who the dummy is today? All right, shit. Here we go. StreamYard. All right, we'll get this off of there. All right. So I talked earlier, I was saying, and I know this one's expensive too. I probably got some of the guys wanting some budget knives, and I'm gonna show something else really expensive. But this is my idea, and I reviewed both of these, or I reviewed these knives in the past. Now there's a large version and a small version, and I've reviewed them both. But this is my idea of a 2021 Sabenza. And here it is, the Usler Customs. So these come in all different styles. Now, this is the duck, the Usler duck to be specific. So there's the Usler duck and duckling. The duckling is about the same size as a small 21, and the duck is about the same size as a regular Sabenza. Now, these guys are on bearings, and the best thumb stud action I have ever felt in my life come from this knife right here. Not this exact one, but like I said, he makes all different kind. Like here, I'll show you. But they are expensive, but as you can see, there are so many different versions, So I tried one that had micarta on it, and the thumb studs they're kind of like the Tucson TS301 thumb studs. I tried one just like this. If you can go watch my review. But beautifully ground, nice durable thick spine, but yet it gets down to a nice thin edge. Just an amazing knife. And then here's the duckling. The one thing I didn't like about the duckling was it had a little too much belly. He likes to upsweep that belly just a little bit, and it's a little too pronounced for me. So that's why I wish he would have just did the exact same blade shape as the duck on the duckling, but instead he made that belly a little pronounced. But yeah, it's a beautiful knife. You can see this is a hand satin one. All micarta. Oh wow, that one's not even, I thought that was titanium before I got a close look at it. But you guys can see there are so many different versions of it. And the thumb stud action is just fucking mind-blowing. The detent is so well tuned. The one thing I do kind of wish that his choil area, you see how the plunge grind winds up hitting. I've sharpened one before, but the plunge grind winds up being close to the edge. So I wish they brought it in just a little bit right there. Just cut it off all the way like to here, put a finger choil or something. But man, what an amazing knife. If anyone wants to buy it, trade and buy Gerber fastball cleaver and 20 CB USA made. I got them both for sale weeks ago for like oh man, Fiend's in the house. What's up, Fiend? that is my review on the duck. I sharpened it. I don't remember if I sharpened the duckling too, but I did sharpen one of them. The heat treat felt amazing. Yeah, great knife. Oh man, we pulled up one of the button locks. The new button lock that's coming. Wait, no, it is available. I think I'm trying to get it. But yeah, we looked at both of them earlier. We looked at the new one from Mazwan and the new one from Night Morning Designs. Meg, thank you. What are you thinking about the Sea Otter? Oh, from Monterey Bay Knives. And thank you. I like it, man. I love it. USA made, Monterey Bay. I wish I could get one, but they're just not available right now. I know a lot of people did get them that went to the California knife show or whatever. I was not one of those people. They're pretty expensive, but I understand the price, so I'm not like saying they're high priced or anything. They're like, what was like 3 something. But I think they look awesome. I wish I could try one. But yeah, they're badass for sure. I'm pissed I missed the Yojimbo drop. I love the S30V. I wanted a 20 CV or an M390. Why'd you miss it? I don't get it. Aren't they always available? The Yojimbos? Seth, show them the Dawn. Wait, the Dawn TW Price design on Instagram. Dawn. Okay, I'll try to pull it up. December 3rd, Knife Fights Marathon, over 24 giveaways in 24 hours. Yes, Shane, I talked about it just a little bit ago. We'll make sure we talk about it again. But yeah, December 3rd, 24 hours live at all the knife influencers, whatever you want to call them. It's for Knife Rights Marathon, 6 p.m. Eastern. Let me see if I can pull this up now. What was it called? The Dawn TW Price Design. So is it TW Price Design? TW Price Design. TW Price Design. TW Price Design. I see it. I'll get to it in 1 second. TW. So pop right up. Cool. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. But let me first get to this. Sharp. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much, man. We are fucking climbing that mountain, climbing it, getting closer and closer to MC. He started earlier than us. I just hope everybody understands that. Metal Complex started a lot earlier than us. We're going to catch up to him, and then we're going to trip him, and we're going to pass him up, and then we'll feed him some scraps. I'm just joking. I love the guy. I'm just messing around. But yeah, we're going to pass him, though. That I'm not joking about. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. Talking about this. MC's got it right now, doesn't he? That lucky son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm supposed to be getting it here pretty soon. I love the look of this knife. I do. I'll be honest. I'm trying to hold back my enthusiasm for it since MC has it, since Metal Complex has it, and I don't. But I guess we'll show it before it shows up on my channel. No, I'm just joking. I think this thing looks amazing. I love the milling. I love the way the clip looks. I love that it's a reverse flicking front flipper. I just love everything about it. I do. I even love the pivot collar, to be honest. I want one bad. I like it quite a bit. But we're gonna have to wait to get it. Well, I'm not sure who it goes to next before it'll get to here, but it'll eventually be here. I'd send some bones, but I just don't have it right now. No problem, man. No problem. Just hit a like, and I know you're already subbed, so no problem, man. But yeah, if you guys could just hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it so much. Yeah, cue ball. The new large nimble is coming. That's another new one. That's gonna be so badass. That's the one I'm really excited about because the nimble was an amazing knife. However, and I'm not saying like anything bad about it when I say this, but I would prefer the larger one just because. But that's a hard one to beat, man. That's a nice knife. Really nice. Maurice is a legend. I don't have it right now either. No problems, Maurice. You always do have it. Don't worry about it. How do I hit the like button? I'm merely a dummy. Well, dummy. So if you look down underneath the screen, you'll see a little number with a thumb on it. You just hit that. You can hit it with your left finger or your left hand or right hand. Right now we have 92 of them and one dislike. I'd love to see the guy who disliked it, but not like in an angry way, but just to see who he is. Oh yeah, it was Talica. I forget it was Talica. I know who it is now. Are there any EMP EDC nimbles dropping at all soon, regular or large? The large one will be coming soon. They have a nimble T coming with the Tonto. That's why it's the T, the nimble T. It's the same size as the small one. And it's going to have a Tonto, and then eventually there's going to be a big one. I'm not sure when the big one will be. It probably won't be till next year. Kubi Royal on the way. Nice. 93 now. Nice. But yeah, just drop a like. That's enough support. I really appreciate the likes. The likes definitely help the algorithm. Commenting, liking, subbing, all that is amazing. All right, okay? So I got a bunch of comments on the Damascus on Concepts Knives. I got a bunch of them saying it's fake Damascus. It's fake Damascus. It's not real. It's just an etching. It's just an etching, even though their description says it's Damascus. Concept is not one of those companies, like just a dummy company off of Amazon that just puts shit, that writes it and doesn't, stand by what they say. It's real Damascus, okay? It's real Damascus. It's just the way it's layered. It has the stair step look. And I confirmed it with him, and I'm going to tell you what the steel's made out of here in just a second. But a lot of people, I think it has to do because right here it has like a cloudy look, and then the rest is like stair stepped. I can't really show it in live. Now, a lot of the reasons why they said it is because when you look at the spine, you can't really see the layers. You can in real life. It's very subtle, and you have to zoom in. So I probably will show it in the review. I'll probably take my magnifying glass and show it. But if you zoom in, you can see it clear as day. And I can take another knife, right, with the same Damascus pretty much. And because it's a powdered Damascus, I wish it was better, but you guys got to remember now, okay? So one, with Damascus, only some steels work out together, right? Only so many steels work out together. Now, some steels you might think like, oh man, I'd love to see that as a Damascus, but it won't work. You will get shit edge retention. It just won't work. And the best kind of Damascus is going to be like a Damascus steel. Mike, get the fuck out of here and go to bed then. Get out of here then. You're boring me anyways. A powdered Damascus is always going to be better than a regular Damascus where you pound steel together. It's just finer grained, right? And it comes out as one billet of steel instead of a multi-layered steel. Now, yes, you see the layers after it's etched and everything, but there can be voids. Like it's kind of, I've never made Damascus or anything, but I've handled and used a lot of Damascus. I've had Damascus come apart on me before, like back in the day. And obviously it was cheap Damascus that wasn't heat treated right. And I know there's some really good Damascus out there. I'm not saying there's not. canceled the live feed for tonight. Mike canceled the live feed for tonight. He's not feeling too good. Hope everything's all right, bud. I didn't mean to make you cancel a live or anything, Mike. But no, I do hope everything's all right. Where was I? Oh yeah. So, anyways, powdered Damascus is better. It's finer grained. It winds up becoming one brick of steel, one billet of steel, rather than a bunch of steels just heated up and pounded together, because it's mixed in a powdered form. So when they melt it, it comes out all in one, as long as you're using steels that work together. So what it's basically is, it's a 9CR 440C mixture, like Civivi's. So Civivi's powdered Damascus is basically the same thing. Which in my opinion, that's really good. Now, I believe the edge retention test, when it came out, it was like as good as S35VN. I can't like say that for sure, but I feel like, I'm pretty sure I remember watching the cut test. I think it was Outpost 76, I believe, did a cut test on it, and it got like S35VN results, I believe. I'm not, like I said, I'm not 1,000,000%. Now, the thing is, though, is that yes, this is an expensive knife, and people are going to say, oh, it's 9CR. That's not the case. You can't look at it like that. This is a powdered Damascus. It's not just 9CR. It's when you start doing different things to steels, it's completely different. It's kind of like, even like with the ARRPM 9. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's like a powdered 9CR. Well, I can say that because it is, but it's really not too at the same time. It's completely different when you add something into it and do something different. It's different. So same thing with this. Now, it's going to be very similar to, like I said, like Civivi's Damascus, which is also very similar to Damasteel. So Damasteel uses RWL 34 as their main steel in Damasteel. And Damasteel's amazing, right? I like RWL 34 too. But 9CR, and also has the same abilities to come out really good in a powdered Damascus. And yeah, like I said, I've tested Civivi's. I haven't tested theirs yet, concepts, but I've tested Civivi's, and it's amazing. Like, it's really good. And I've tested quite a bit of Damascus, to be honest. And like I said, there's been times like where I'm sharpening Damascus and it just feels like shit on the stone. It really does. It feels like shit, because you'll hit like soft spots. It almost is like hard spots in the steel, and then you'll hit soft spots, and it doesn't sharpen up really good. It sharpens up weird. Don't get me wrong, I've had some that was great too. So, like I had a Terzola that was fine. But it just depends, right? But when you get the powdered Damascuses, like I said, they're more finer grain structure. You're not going to have those little issues between the different steels, as you're sharpening, because it's all mixed up into one billet. It's just, since it does have two different kinds of steels involved in the powder, when they etch it, you get the pattern, right? You get the badass, beautiful pattern. Now, this one's not as, or it depends on how you look at it, but this one, it's really beautiful, but you could probably see it better on this, because this one has the like raindrop or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to sit here and spend too much time on it, because for some reason it's just not coming up on the camera. Maybe it's my light. No, that ain't gonna work. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Never mind. Sending you 2 Damascus blades for sharpening soon. Oh, thanks a lot, Willow. I just talked about how shitty it is. I'm just joking. That's fine. Send it on through. No. It's just, there's so much Damascus out there. There's a lot of shit, right? A lot of companies that are quality companies do a good job with their Damascus, but there's a lot of companies that do shit. Would I would pay $100K if I had it for the Lyle 1-6 First Blood. Are we talking about Rambo? I twisted your arm? On which one? I drug a. Hold on. I must have missed something here. You guys are on a fucking roll. What's up, Hollywood? Hollywood's in here. Todd says, with Damascus nowadays, you're paying for the pattern rather spend the same amount, but on better steel. Now, I agree with that in a lot of ways because I personally just like a good quality steel more than a Damascus. I'm not a big Damascus fan, to be honest. But if I'm going to get a Damascus and I'm going to pay for a Damascus, I want a powdered Damascus because, like I said, like there's been testings that proven it, and they're as controlled as they can get, right? They're not obviously in a laboratory, but they're as controlled as they can get, and they've proven that these powdered Damascuses do really good. Like they even get better edge retention than the steel if it was by itself. Like I said, I believe Civivi's got like S35VN results, or at least close to it, from their 9CR powdered Damascus. So, it has the potential to do really good, but I do agree for the most part, you're paying for the beauty. And if you're looking for a good steel, don't think of Damascuses like that. Think of Damascus as a beautiful steel, but when it's a powdered version, you're getting a good, beautiful steel. Now, in other cases, or most of the time, you're just paying for the look because most Damascus isn't the best quality. It's you're not going to get good edge retention. It's not going to take the best edge. It's some do okay, but we're talking about all, right? When you're talking about all, the majority, we have too many Pakistan Damascus knives. Let's just say that. There you go, Willow. Willow's got a Damascus Skinner that has not been off his hip since he got it. Nice. And probably like his, you're also gonna find some really good quality ones, but you want to be careful. Like my brother, put it this way, my brother bought a it was called a custom, right? It was a custom Damascus knife. I think it came from like Arizona or something, but it wasn't made in Arizona. It was made in like Pakistan or something. And then they sell them through some site from like Arizona or something. But when I seen it, this thing was complete shit. Not only did it have issues like rock and lock stick, that's another thing Damascus knives have bad of. Not this type of Damascus, but a lot of Damascus knives on cheap knives wind up getting lock stick. But anyways, because they have like a softer steel mixed in with the harder steel, so they don't heat treat the same because it's a shit mix. And when they heat treat it, those steels don't heat treat at the same level. So you wind up getting a softer steel mixed with a harder steel, and it winds up becoming a shit. Anyways, so his knife, though, man, it was crap. It was crap. Like you could see voids in the steel. Like I could totally see. I didn't sharpen it. I wouldn't have dared sharpen it, but I could see that sharpening it would have led to a lot of issues. But then there's also good Damascus, obviously there's what the hell's it called? What's that one Damascus that's really good and well known in the community? I can't even think of the name of it. Damn it, I can't think of his name now, but he makes good Damascus too. A lot of the custom makers, real custom makers, not like the knife I was just talking about, but real custom makers use Chad Nichols Damascus. But that's somebody who's literally just done everything possible to get the right recipes and make an amazing recipe, Spanky, look at Jared. All 20K and shit. Looking big time over here, ain't I? Looking big time. Outdoors 55. I seen he posted a video today. does a hilarious video on his yes, he did. I seen that on his $25 Damascus, and turned out it wasn't even heat treated, and he broke it with his hands. Hilarious. Yeah, he actually bent it because since it's soft, it doesn't break like snap, right? Obviously, you can break it, but when he bent it, it just went meow instead of going. It just went meow. So with the sound effect too, just so you guys know, with the sound effect. But yeah, that's what you're gonna get a lot of when you get that that Pakistani Damascus. And it's nothing against them. It's just that's what you're gonna get a lot of times, and I'm sure there's some amazing ones there too. But like all knives, you're gonna pay for it, so it's gonna be more expensive. It's not gonna be one of those $10, $20, $30 Damascus knives. What was the next thing? I did a video on Instagram. So I ordered a shirt. Okay. Adam Calhoun is a musician. He's a rapper, country rapper, singer. He sings like country, rap, rock, whatever. Anyways, he's a musician. And he's funny as hell. I watch a lot of his videos, and he bleeds America, and he started an apparel line where he does USA made apparel, where it's all USA, right? Even the cotton comes from America, 100% USA made. So I went on his site, which is ACAL Apparel, ACAL, ACAL Apparel, and went to it, and he's got USA made socks. Now, even Greg Medford the other day, I heard him say like he can't find USA made socks because they are hard to find, but he's got some on there, and that's hard to find USA made socks, but he's got some on there. Same thing, cotton, all sourced from America. Anyway, so I bought one of his shirts, and I made a video about it on Instagram. And I did put a little bit of work into it, to make the video, a little bit of editing and blah, blah, blah. I was kind of proud of it because I was proud of the shirt. And I can tell it's an American shirt because you know what it feels like? And it kind of brings me back to back in the day, because a lot of the work shirts I grew up wearing from like my family's construction businesses and stuff like that all felt just like it, like USA cotton, it's a little coarser, a little tougher because by the way, it's 100% cotton. So you don't get that real softness, it's a little rougher cotton. Anyways, nice stuff though. Good. Anyways, I bought it and posted it on Instagram, and he fucking commented on my video, which was amazing to me because he's like one of my favorite musicians right now. But yeah, I was really happy about that. He commented on it, and yeah, exactly, Breeze. It feels like America, exactly. And I thought it was great. And he called me his brother, by the way. So me and him are brothers now. What can I say? Meet him one day. You called me your brother. Who the fuck are you? You said I was your brother. A town 15 minutes. Oh yeah, and he's from around, not here, but he grew up in the Chicago area, and he only lives like 20 miles outside of Chicago. So a town 15 minutes from here used to be the sock capital of the world, but NAFTA shut them all down. Bang. That's what happens, man. Yeah, Maurice is my brother too. He's my brother from another mother. Big family. We got a big family, by the way. Big fucking family. All right, so let's get into talking about some other stuff. Let's talk about some geometry and stuff like that. And if you guys want to name, oh yeah, wait, somebody asked me to pull something up a little bit ago. I forget what it was. If you're still in here, I forget what it was or anything, but just let me know down in the comments. I'll see if I read it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about geometry and cutting, because sometimes I get comments like with like say with a little bit of thicker geometry, right? Like with a lot of people, geometry won't really matter like so much, especially if you're not doing long-term cutting or if you're not really cutting anything specific. If it's literally just little basic now it will matter and it won't. So I don't want to say it won't matter because I've noticed like, and you'll notice this across the board with a lot of the reviewers, a lot of them, the ones that use their knives, I'm not saying the ones that don't use their knives, but the ones that use their knives, you'll notice all of them start leaning toward amazing geometry. There's a reason why they do that. It's because when you look at a knife and you have to cut something, you're going to grab the thing that works the best, not the thing that gives you issues. And even though that same knife could work, it'll cut your whatever, but it might be uncomfortable or it might not cut it really good. And if you're going to do it long term, you're going to want something better. Now, certain things just don't cut good at all. And obviously, edge geometry has a lot to do with it. But if you have a more robust knife and you just love it and you want to carry it, and use it, but geometry really keeps it out of your pocket, you can lay back the edge angle and make it better. However, the other things though is like a thinner grind, the edge is going to last longer theoretically. And I say theoretically because a thin edge will still cut even when it's dull. A thick edge, not only when it's dull, really cuts like shit and won't go through anything, but two, the microchipping is bigger. So you're going to have the damage is really going to show if you get it damaged, right? If you don't get it damaged, then it's just dull. It's just dull. But something thin will still cut even, when it's dull. I got my Drifter 2 a few days ago. Totally got to cut out the scale for the line. Like, oh man, I just got a knife, guys. Holy shit. The worst lock bar access I've ever experienced ever. And I'm going to do a first impressions on it tomorrow. It really upsets me. But yeah, the 122 is a slicing monster. I just sent the 122 and the 322. Is that what it is? Yeah. Yeah. The big one and the 122 to Lefty EDC. I think he's going to like them. After you, here we go. Stas is in the house. We just need to do another live together, brother. After you use a knife with nice and thin geometry, then you understand right. And I get people sometimes that they don't, they don't really get to experience thin geometry so much. So they have their thick knife and they're like, it works just fine. And it's like, yeah, of course it works. Watch Stasa 23's video today. Right? He did a video today on a USA made knife. The knife looks amazing. I love the knife. I wanted one. But I understand, like, what's stopping me from buying it is the geometry. I can see. I don't even need Stasa to tell me about it. I can see it. And then when I watched his video, clear as day, showed me why I personally, now, like, if you're buying the knife for robust Medford type shit, go for it, right? That's what it's for. That's literally what it's for. It's for the harder shit. But like I always say, if that's going to be your plan or the idea behind that knife purchase or the use of that knife, the handle has to be comfortable, which I don't think they conquered on that design personally. I think that design, watch his video. One, you can clearly see the thing doesn't cut good. Clearly. He tried to cut leather. I don't want to give it away, guys. You guys just go watch it yourself. But you can see, right? Geometry cuts. And then when it doesn't, your pressure is what's cutting. It's your pressure. The blade and geometry is what's supposed to be cutting, not your force. I'm not saying sometimes you don't have to put force in, right? But in that case, it better be damn comfortable because you're going to be pushing on it. And like knives I use today, right? Like today, I use my knife all day at work. Now, I know everybody doesn't do that. I get that. But there are times where you're like, cutting up your recycling, or maybe you have to do some work on a house, your own house or something where you might possibly use your knife for an hour at a time or a couple hours or something like that. And that's when that shit stands out. and you really realize like how frustrating it can be when one, it goes dull and now it's just slipping off of everything because your geometry, instead of being nice and thin and always biting into the thing you're going after, now it's really slipping. Because if you think an edge is slick, having bad geometry with a dull edge, holy shit, does it get slick. It gets so slick. That's where injuries happen. That's where people get hurt. Brandon, let's go, Brandon. Neeves, you crazy son of a bitch. Congrats on the over 20K. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, it's amazing, man. It is amazing, and I'm blown away every single time I look at my analytics. Yeah, I should have shown how the other 5 knives I was testing did on all the same test. Then you can truly see how it really matters. Yeah. It's crazy when, especially when you do switch knives, right? Like when you have 2 knives right there, or a couple knives, or a bunch of knives, or whatever, and you can switch from this one to that one and just see the level of difference. It's massive. It's massive because we're talking about a cutting object, right? It's kind of like the difference between, I mean, think about like a chef's knife, right? A chef's knife, how clean when it's sharp. Don't get me wrong. I know all you fucks run around with cheap, broken, busted kitchen knives that are probably dull as shit. But imagine you have a sharp kitchen knife, right? Imagine you have a sharp kitchen knife. How clean that thing cuts. Now, trying to do the same thing with your axe, right? You know what it does, like the difference between that. Now, when you put that into a folder's geometry is supposed to be doing the work. They're not technically hard use knives. Technically, a hard use knife is a fixed blade, not a folder. Now, I'm not saying we don't have hard use folders. Obviously, we do, but in that case, they better be damn comfortable, right? Because you're a lot of the cutting is coming from your force. Oh, Willow, yes, check the mail. Yes, thank you. Yes, I will. I'm going to continue talking, and I'm going to try doing that. I don't know if I can. I think I can. I think I can. But also though, this is the next thing, is honing and keeping your edge going. It's obviously because, okay, when you're honing or sharpening, what you're doing is you're removing a micro amount of steel at the edge, or you're removing a burr or something like that. But in many cases, you're dragging an abrasive over your edge. So you have your edge angle and you're dragging an abrasive over the edge angle, right? And that abrasive is taking little microscopic chips out of the very apex of your edge. And those little microscopic chips are what's putting teeth back into your edge. So your edge would be like this, right? Before you stropped it. Then all of a sudden you stropped it, and all of a sudden now you got teeth. That teeth is what cuts. So when it's thin, it's not going to take much effort to strop or hone your edge back. Now, if it's thick, that's a lot more steel that the abrasive has to go through in order to get sharp, or honing, right? Both of them, because sharpening a thin edge, and now I'm talking about sharpening, not stropping or honing, but when we move to sharpening, you know, the difficulties between a thin edge and a thick edge is even worse than steel itself. So like, say if I said 440C versus S30V, right? There's going to be a difference between sharpening 440C and S30V. But guess what is a massive difference? Way bigger than the steel itself. The thickness behind the edge. The thickness behind the edge is going to be, like, put it this way. I could sharpen S30V thin behind its edge way faster, 10 times faster than I can sharpen 440C that's thick behind the edge, because I'm having to remove a certain amount of steel, which on the thick knife is going to be far more steel than the S30V. Yes, the S30V is a harder wearing steel. So If they were the same geometry, then of course the S30V might take a little bit longer. But when you add steel, it's like, you think about cutting anything, right? If you had to cut a pipe in half, a pipe this big is going to be way harder than cutting a pipe this big. It's the same concept. You're cutting steel off of the edge. You're removing steel. And by removing steel, having it thinner, it's going to be way faster, way easier. And then if you're freehanding, the ease of even fixed angle system, it really doesn't matter, but the ease of sharpening is just so much better. And since it's easier, because the time is so much less, you wind up getting a better edge in a lot of cases. Now, I'm not saying always. When you get really good at sharpening, obviously, you know what to look for. But what I'm trying to say is that when your efforts are, you have to put in less effort and you can see the results like that, and it's so much faster. It winds up making it easier for you, faster for you, and better for you. So you wind up getting way better results than you would have if it took you an hour and you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I get this this part of the edge out? Because sometimes you'll be sharpening, if it's really thick, you'll be working on one spot for a long time and it seems like you're not getting anywhere. There's times where I leave it. I'm just like, man, it ain't worth it. Like that little piece of the edge that won't come out from the factory edge because they messed up their angle or something, it's just not worth it. All right, I'm going. I gotta find it. There we go. All right, so is it? Here it is. All right. Pictures. I don't think this is gonna come up really. All I got was the top of a knife. Is there more, or is that it? Yeah, I don't think people are gonna really be able to see this. It's just the top of a knife. Like you can't even see the knife. You can just see the G10. I'll show it really quick just so you see what I'm talking about, but that's all you can see is that. And thank you for the donation, Willow. But yeah, that's all I got was two pictures the exact same. But yeah. The chipping though, when you chip your edge too, the chipping of a thick edge is going to lead to more severity. Now I shouldn't say that, because a thin edge can chip easier, but both of them chipping, I guess it does depend, because a thin edge isn't as tough, right? It's not as tough. So looks like that petrified fish knife. That's a brand I haven't tried yet. I have not tried that. Cue ball. Did I miss one? I'm looking. I might have missed one. Cue ball! 20 bones for 20K. Seems fair. Congratulations, Jared. So excited for you. Hard work, that persistence truly does pay off. That is so true. Thank you, man. Thank you. Someone I could good for him, man. I'm so happy for Mike Emler. His channel's growing a lot, and he got like 400 bones the other day from a donator. That's amazing. And thank you, Cue Ball. You guys are all amazing, man. All you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. I love my petrified. What's that? My petrified beluga in 929. I haven't tried those. I have not tried the petrified fish, although I got some. I've been trying to get some new stuff, so I got a couple new knives coming, and hopefully some other new knives. What did you say was a great slicer? What's that? What did you say was a great folder slicer? Well, there's a lot of them. A lot of Civivi knives, you're going to get great geometry. So anything Civivi, not I don't think they have anything robust or big, but the majority of Civivi knives are good slicers, but it depends on the price because there's good slicers all the way across the board from cheap to expensive. It just depends on the price range we're talking about, but in the under $100, the best geometry you're going to find is going to be from Civivi, in my opinion. They have the best grinds. The grinds are so even. That's another thing, man. A lot of companies have really good even grinds, but none of them compare to Civivi. Civivi's grinds are so perfect. Like, and that's why I always tell you guys, if you're going to practice freehanding for the first, or even on a fixed angle system, if you're first beginning to sharpen, fucking do it to a Civivi. Now, even their new Sun Cut knives, which are a little bit more robust, they have thin ones like the Actium. The Sun Cut Actium is thin as shit. That thing's really thin. But they have other knives that are a little bit more thicker than their Civivi models, but not by much. I'm not saying they're thick. They're still amazing geometry, but they're thicker than a lot of the Civivi models. But the geometry on the Civivi knives are just, they're so good, and then the grinds are so even. So when you go to sharpen it on a fixed angle system or freehand, one, it's thin behind the edge, so it's going to go fast. Two, the grind is even from one side to the other. So when you flip it over, because this is the thing, and I've talked about this before, you really see how well that grinder was, meaning the person who ground the knife. You really see how good they were when you put it on a stone. When you put it on a flat stone, when you put it on a flat stone, that brings out any inconsistency. So yeah, maybe from the factory, it's like, oh man, this thing looks really good, even though you can kind of identify it by looking at the edge. If you look at the edge and you see a wave, or say you look at the tip and one side's bigger than the other, or say if you look down by the heel and all of a sudden it gets really small, that's the grind. That's not the edge. Like, a lot of people think like, oh man, they messed up the edge. Sometimes they grind a little too deep. So I'm not saying always, but 98% of the time it's the grind. And it doesn't matter what you do when you sharpen, it's going to show that same thing. Can you match it a little bit better? Yeah, of course. I just did a knife for somebody, a ZT, and I went through hell trying to match up the angles, because the one side to the other was a little off, and then from the one side it went off, on the one side, from the entire edge. But to line that up and make it look nice and flat all the way straight at the same angle and everything, even though it is the same angle, it doesn't look like it because the grind is off. So getting a knife that's ground evenly from one side to the other, where the tip, looks the same. And like I said, you can see this from the factory, but once you put it on a flat stone, freehand or fixed angled system, all those inconsistencies will reveal themselves. And that is why sometimes you guys might think you're fucking it up, but you're not. You're not doing anything wrong. That's just the way the knife is ground. So when you see a wave, or all of a sudden you see like, man, my tip is so much thicker on this side. It's like, yeah, because it's so much thicker, the grind. There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is change angles. So you could do, which is hell. It's not worth it. So don't even try doing it. But like, you could say like, I'll do 18 degrees on this side and 20 degrees on this side, and try doing that. But in order for that to work, the entire edge angle would have to be off, which has happened. I've done that before. I've seen that, where literally one side is ground thicker than the other. So by putting one angle on one side and a different angle on the other side, I could match them up, or at least make them look matched up. But usually the way it goes, it's only one part. So both sides will look even, and then all of a sudden on one part, it'll just go like just out of nowhere. Like it'll just like go up. And it's because it's thicker there, or thinner there. If it goes smaller, then it's thinner. If it gets bigger, then it's thicker. That's the way it works. So like I know of a knife right now that I am sharpening, and I love the company. I love the knife. I'm not complaining about the knife, and for the price, it's not that big of a deal. But the grind at the tip on one side is like, it's impossible to match them up. It's not even possible. It's not worth the effort, and it's not possible to match up the angle from one side to the other. So no matter what, the entire life of this knife, most likely, unless if I can sharpen it out after 10 sharpenings, but who the fuck cares about that? Because that's what, a year or two down the road. So for the whole life of it, it's going to look like I sharpened one side of the tip bigger than the other side. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it's ground. Does that Drifter 2 I have different handle materials, or what the fuck? Or is it just, does that Drifter 2 I have different handle materials, or is it just the one? They have, for the Drifter 2, there's a few different, I don't know if you're asking me, but they have a few different handle materials. All right, Fiend, thank you, man. Thank you for coming in. Also, before you leave, Friday, you guys, Friday, I'm going on to Red Wolf EDC. I'm going on to Kyle, Red Wolf EDC. I'm going on his channel at 5 o'clock his time. He's in California. And we're doing horror stories. So we're going to talk ghost stories and horror stories, scary stories, stuff like that. It's going to be a fun time. So if you guys can, Fiend, I don't know if you're already out of here. You're probably already gone, but don't miss that. If anybody's checking out right now, just know that Friday's going to be a fun one on Kyle's channel. Stasa23 says, I have sharpened so many knives from different companies that the primary bevels were so off on both sides. I can't stand that. Right. You get so used to it that it's just common. It's literally a common thing. And I used to get mad at it. I really did. I used to not really hold it against the company, but I would talk shit like, man, this grind is so off, and I would actually knock the company for it. At this point, I don't even knock the company because I've seen it on $1,000 knives, I've seen it on $500 knives, I've seen it on $30 knives, I've seen it across the board. It just is what it is. And I told this story a couple weeks ago where that custom knife maker, he was talking about it, and he was talking to another upcoming knife maker, and he was saying, because he was sharpening a knife on a flat stone, he says, man, he's like, you think you're a good grinder until you throw your knife on a flat stone. He's like, because that flat stone will reveal every inconsistency you have in your knife. And when he said that, I just, I lit up, because it's like, damn right it does, because I see it all the time. And it is what it is. But it feels so, what it is it doesn't even feel bad when you see it, because you see it so much. But what it does do is, when you see one that's good, when you see one that's even from one side to the other, it just makes you so happy. It's like, damn it, this looks so good. It's easy. It makes sharpening so easy. And it makes your edge come out so clean, so good looking, so everything. You just feel good about it. Ian says, will you be in the dark room with a flashlight on your face? You got me thinking about it now. I'll say that. I wasn't gonna be, but I'm probably now. Seems logical. Says, yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. Having trouble keeping my eyes open. No problem, bud. Why don't you just run it? No, I'm just joking. Go turn on some other Neeves knife shit and just let it play. All right, man. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in a few days. Friday, if you guys end up showing up over to Kyle's. Yep, all the mods are gone now except for Breeze. Breeze is the only one in the house, so you guys better be careful, because now that he's got the Ouija board, y'all are gonna be fucked. The worst grind I've ever gotten was a Schrade. Really? Fixed blade horrible to the point that I put 2 separate bevels on it. Right. Yeah, I've done that a few times. That's when you know it's really bad, when you're willing to do that. Has anyone got a Vagrant from this Blade Works Kickstarter? I don't know what that one is, but no, I don't. Pacow. What's up, Pacow? What time is it? All right, we got a few more minutes. I got a couple short stories for you guys. Some of them are pretty funny though. What do we got? We got, I think, a couple short stories. I don't think I got any long ones tonight, but I'll try to drag them out a little bit. My favorite knife I've ever had was a Boker Knish. Wait, I can't even say that word. I don't even want to say it. Knishkov. Yeah, Boker's got. I just got this one, the Boker Kansai. I'm really liking it. I mean, it's a lightweight EDC. It's nothing hard use or anything, but the grind is very thin. I love that. You have dual flipper tabs. So you have this one, and then you also have a front flipper that you can use. They both work super good. I mean, very snappy, very smooth on the drop. And I really like this little tab up there. It looks good sitting out of your pocket. You can pull it out of your pocket like that. Nice deep carry clip that is so well done. And this knife comes in like every different version you can imagine: brass, copper, carbon fiber, wood, green micarta, just basically everything. The only thing I didn't see it in was plain titanium. But it's super smooth, super sleek. It's one of those knives that when you flip it open, the flipper tab's hidden. So you have nothing exposed. Super slicey. But like I said, it is lightweight. Like, it's not something you're going to want to bang on. I could rock the lock if I really wanted to, but it's not that type of knife where you really care. It's such a lightweight, nothing knife that it's just great to have because you snap it out, make your cut, slap it back in the pocket. It looks good. It's a good knife. I do like it quite a bit. Knives like this, I don't really care about a little bit of lock rock, as long as there's not lock play. Lock play is where it rattles. Lock rock is when you're putting a lot of pressure and you're moving the lock over a little bit, which I don't care because I'll never put that much force on the knife. It's not like it'll close. Like, I can put spine weight on it. I just can't spine whack it, right? And even if I gave it a light, it's not going to fail or nothing. So, awesome knife though. I really do like it. Hell yeah, I love my Kansai, whatever the hell that thing is called exactly. Breeze. I'm sorry I called that other moderator out for being a liar and a crook. Thou art banned, Sir Metal Complex. CEO come with Tonto blade. Yeah, you can get a CEO with a Tonto blade, I believe. Yes, you can. You can get those Samuor knives with the Tonto too. They make every different version of those Samuor knives. They're very similar. I got one right here. They're super similar to the CEO. You guys have seen it in the video, but it's just it's like a pen knife. Super snappy, long, sleek blade. Says M390. I think it is, but it's going to be soft. Like, it's not going to be heat treated good. The way I see it is that why wouldn't it be M390? They have every other steel on their site, right? And the price ranges do change. And the reason why I think it probably is M390 because it's like $65. And think about it. This is a tiny piece of steel. This is a little tiny piece of steel. They can literally make 100 of these out of one thing of steel, right? So it probably is real, but they probably take 1,000 of these and heat treat them at the same time. So you can imagine, yes, it's going to be soft. You probably won't get any better edge retention than like 154 cm, maybe. But with this kind of knife, you're not doing anything crazy. This is like a letter opener. This is something just to be, like use around the office or something. But it's cool because it does look like a pen. You would think it was a pen until it goes snap. And it's rock solid. There's nothing wrong with it. And look at this. It's very drop shutty. I mean, it's actually pretty decent quality, to be honest. It just, just don't expect it to have a good heat treat. And it comes with a little leather slip. So pretty cool. But I kind of like it for what it is. It was only $65, and hell, it got me a lot of views. It got you guys to click on the fucking video. I'll say that much. For some reason, and Stasa, keep your ears open right now, Stasa 23. For some reason, those pen knives get people to click. Every time I post a picture for a thumbnail, and I'm not saying like I'm doing that for clicks. I will now, but before I didn't think anything of it. But every time I post a pic, my thumbnail has I can see it across the board. I can look at every video. And when I post a picture of the thumbnail with a penknife, the fucking views go out the roof. Like it's like the whole internet wants to see it for some reason. I don't know. And a lot of them are people that never clicked on the channel before. So they're seeing it in their feed and they get interested in it and they click on it. Boker has gotten a little better because 7 years ago they were terrible, especially with the titanium frame locks. Pen knife check. Bang. Yeah, Boker has gotten better. They're Boker Plus knives. And I know what you're saying. Like some of the ones from years ago, man, they were soft. Like the titanium was soft. You got hella lock stick. That was one thing if they didn't have an insert, but now they are stepping up. The last few ones I've tried were really good. And I did try one that was a little older and it was bad. Like it had lock play and a bunch of other issues. But yeah, they're doing a lot better. SOG's doing a lot better too. They're supposed to be sending me some knives. It hasn't showed up yet, so I don't know if they're waiting because I did see on their website. I should have showed it. I don't know why I didn't show it. SOG SOG also has a new knife coming too. With the XR lock. Probably. Well, that's probably what made me start subscribing to you. I was looking for something to carry at work at the time. Right. But that's what it's about because it's like if I get a thumbnail and it makes people click, that is my job. Like my job is to entice people to say, I want to see that. Because if I can conquer that, then they can hear the message. Then they can see what I'm trying to offer, or like trying to teach or whatever. And that means that the majority of the people see something that actually interests them. So that's what I want to repeat as much as possible. So if I can find other knives that are similar to that, I don't see it, guys. I didn't get nothing. Let me see on this side. I'm just backed up. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, but if I can buy more knives like that to repeat that, I'm gonna do that just because obviously people want that type of stuff. And get this. I showed that one knife that was complete shit. I said it was shit. I didn't even have a name for it. No name because one, Cue Ball didn't tell me the name. Two, it was so shitty. Why would anybody want it? Why would anybody want the thing? I said, don't buy this. This is shit. The blade hit when it closed. There were so many issues. And guess what? I don't think I've had more comments. And it drives me nuts, man. More comments on what is the name of that knife. I want that knife. I want that knife. Please give me a link, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't get them a link. So I went and I got some of these and I linked like a few of them in the same video of the shit knife and said, listen, I don't know the name of that knife. I can't give you the link to that knife. I can't give you the name, but I linked a bunch of these that are better quality, better everything. These are good, decent quality. Check those out. And I probably had to say that probably 150 times by now because the video got so many views that thousands of people wanted that knife, even though I said this is a shit knife, but I can't. And, obviously, if you guys want the knife, I'm going to link it regardless if it's shit or not, if people want to buy it. I didn't think so before. I literally always thought, like, if I say, don't buy this, it's shit, nobody would want it, right? That's what I thought. But now I realize that just because I say it's crap and you guys don't, and I don't recommend it, that doesn't mean 200 people aren't going to still want it, which that's okay. I'm not, like saying anything bad about that. I'm just saying that now I realize that I got to be better than that. Like, it shouldn't be based off of my opinion. It should be just based off of what you guys decide. And if I can put a link for it, I need to, and not take my own feelings into credit. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Oregon, you smart ass. Oh man. It's Cue Ball's fault, to be honest. That was his knife. He bought it sleeping. He fell asleep on his phone and bought it. That's why he didn't even know the name of it. And then he sends it to me. So I'm thankful on this part of the hand. Mostly I'm thankful. But then on the other hand, it's like, damn it, man, I got more comments about that damn knife than any other knife I've ever put on my channel. Oh man, John, that's awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you. I got some more of that coming. Like, I always have more sharpening videos coming, but I have one in the process coming. One with the work sharp and also a freehanding one. So keep your eyes tuned. What's the Discord? I don't have Discord, but I do want to start one. I just haven't. Somebody started one for me. And I should probably take advantage of it because they said that I could change all the passwords and everything if I wanted to use it. I should probably do that. Um, and I appreciate that because I just don't have time to look into stuff like that and set that stuff up. And I did tell everybody, and I'm about to get the story time. I apologize, I'm so late, but I did tell people that I'm planning on taking a couple days off in like a week or so in order just to work on upgrades with editing, upgrades with my use of stuff, just upgrades period across the board, maybe even cleaning house, maybe even changing the studio around, you know, just some, stepping up the game type shit. We've hit 20K now, right? We hit 20K, we're fucking big time now. We got to do big time stuff. Send it on by. Send it on by. Dude, if we had a Discord, we would be buying. What do you mean? If we had Discord, we'd be buying. Well, I'm gonna set up a join button. I already have. I got it. I mean, I don't have it set up, but I do have it. I can do it. So I'm going to do it, and that's one of the things I'm gonna do when I take these couple days off. I tried doing it the other day. And I just realized, like, it's going to take me, like, it doesn't take long. It's not like it takes more than probably 30 minutes for me to do, but 30 minutes for me is, that's the time I get to rest, right? So, big time, Jared Spanky. That's right. How do you feel about silicone grease? On washers, it's fine. Grease is fine on washers, just not on bearings. Bearings, you want oil. And some, I'll be honest, some washers do better with oil, some do better with grease. It kind of depends on the tolerances, I think, and the type of washers and just everything else. Like the Chris Reeve ones do really good with the grease because they have the holes in them that hold grease pockets, and oil just leaks out of them. So in that case, it's better with grease. So it just kind of depends. All right, story time. Unless if you guys don't want to do story time, we can just keep doing knife talk. Chad, get yourself a Tucson. Get yourself a Tucson. Yeah, it sort of smells like a combo of maple syrup and armpit. It smells like kind of like candy. It smells good. The KPL, I'm guessing you're talking about. Jared just hit me up on Insta, and I'll give you the Discord. All right. Ow. Thank you. I'm so scared to get into Tucson's. You should be. You should be. You really should be. You should be fucking terrified because the second you step over that line, there's no going back. You can never look at any other knife the same, right? So all these knives that are so fucking badass to you, you'll never look at them the same again. So, and the other knives that are like amazing, amazing, expensive knives, you won't look at them the same either. So I'm just warning you. Story time. All right, let's get into it. So, I got a couple different ones. So they're short stories, so we'll get through them pretty quick. Well, this one, I know the backstory, even though I wasn't there, but let me take a hit. Okay. I gotta say this message really quick. This is from Kaiser. Walt, congrats on the milestone, Jared. You're one of the good ones. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Walt. Thank you so much. You're awesome, man. Thank you. So you guys keep asking me about the Dettolith Bell Amy. What is going on with it? What is going on with that fucking knife? So I messaged them and asked them what is going on with this knife, right? Are you guys still doing this or what? So they said yes. The delay is mainly from them, so it's their fault. They're updating the pocket clip from stainless to titanium. That's one thing. And they're making the pocket clip as fast as they can. So they were trying to get the Dettolith Bell Amy done by the end of October. We all know that means early November, right? So think now, don't go on Dettolith's site. That is not by Kaiser. Another OEM did that. They look like the same nightshades. Is that the right name? Yeah. They look like the same nightshade, but it's not the same Bell Amy. So if you guys are wanting the Bell Amy, don't buy those. I promise you, I will tell you guys when it drops. Whatever. But it should be soon. They're just upgrading the clip. That clip was pretty good, though, I'll be honest. All right. Back in week. I gotta find a comment really quick. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I gotta find this comment. I don't know if it's gonna let me go up this high. What was the name? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It's taking me too long. Oh, there we go. Got it. All right. Probably won't see this, but really appreciate it. Best Korean. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I did see it. Bang. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And to answer Double Edge's question, Worksharp's upgrade kit or Hapstone holder with Dogstone. I think it really doesn't matter if you get. Okay, so if you're talking about the upgrade kit or a work or a system with a stone holder, it's always going to be better with a stone holder because you can switch out your stones. You can change stones. You can change whatever stones you want. You can upgrade your stones however you want. You can mix and match. If you just get the upgrade kit, you only have diamonds and a ceramic stone. However, if you get the Workshop upgrade kit, you can also buy an attachment stone holder. So I would say the Workshop, because it comes with the stones, you can use those however you want. Plus, you can buy the stone holder and then other stones. But I do have a company sending me a new system. So we'll see how that one goes. It should be here soon. All right, so story time. So my dad is for those of you guys that don't know, my dad was a paraplegic. He was paralyzed from the nipples down, and so he couldn't walk. He could move his arms and his neck, but he couldn't move from the nipples down. So, he was in bed a lot, and but he was I don't want to say this I want to say this for you guys to understand it, but he was kind of a powerful guy, like not strong wise, he was strong too, but I mean like powerful in a sense, like he could tell people what to do and get anything he wanted done, right? Like whatever he wanted done, he was just point and go, right? And people would do anything for him. So he's laying in his bed, and he's crazy too. Like he'll a day with him, and people don't even understand, just people in general, like the shit that I went through with my dad taking care of him, because I took care of him for 13 years. There were a couple off and on situations, but for the most part, 13 years of taking care of him, you run into a lot of crazy shit, especially when you're dealing with such a crazy guy, right? And I know you guys can't understand the level of crazy I'm talking about, but beyond whatever you're thinking, okay? Just put it that way, especially when you're dealing with somebody who is like a powerful person and can get things done however he wants, right? Anyway, so he's laying in bed, and he always stayed strapped. He always had his gun on him. And there was this lady that was also helping take care of him or whatever. And he pulled his gun out for whatever reason. I don't know why. He pulled his gun out and said something about shooting something. I don't know what, but he said something about shooting something. And the lady that was there, she's like, "You're not going to shoot that gun off in this house." And he looked, I already know how he looked because I know my dad. He gave her the fucking crazy eye, pulled that gun up and started shooting holes in the ceiling. Well, he only put one, I think, but he fucking shot a hole in the ceiling. And so he's laying in bed and he shoots his gun off in the house, boom, right through the ceiling. Well, where he's sleeping, it's only a roof, right? There's no attic above the part of the house, I don't believe. If there is, it's small, very small above that part of the house. The other part of the house, yeah, there's a bigger, attic and everything. Anyway, so he calls me on the phone. And all I hear is, "Hey, I need you to come check this roof out." I'm like, "Why? What's up?" He's like, it probably has a leak. It's probably going to have a leak. Okay, you don't see a leak right now. You can't tell me where it's at. And he's like, I shot it. It's like, what? Yeah, I shot a fucking hole in it. And me, because I know how he is, I didn't say, "What? What are you, crazy?" Blah, blah. I just said, "All right." "All right, Dad. All right. Fucking gotta go fix the roof because my dad shot a hole through it laying in bed." But it just gives you a little idea. And the other day I told the story about my first apartment, right? And I told you the story about me getting arrested. If you guys didn't hear that story, you guys can watch the last live and fast forward to 9 o'clock. And I started a story about the time I got arrested when I got my first apartment. But what I didn't say was the part of the story of why me and my dad got into a fight, right? So me and my dad got into the fight. The reason why I wound up getting my apartment was because at the time we had a cordless phone. And we had a cordless phone. So we had cell phones and everything, but he used the cordless phone a lot. And I don't remember why it was a big deal between, using this cordless phone. Maybe one of us didn't have a cell phone or something. I don't remember exactly, but I was on it. My dad was like, he was the type that he would have a CB radio in one hand, a Nextel in another hand, and a cell phone in another. Like he could literally, like I said, like he's kind of a powerful dude, so he was always running shit, right? So he was fucking on one phone call here and then talking on another one over here. That's just the way he was. So he was always on multiple phones. Well, he was always on that damn cellular cordless phone, right? Not cellular, cordless phone. And I had it and he wanted it, right? He wanted it, but I'm on it, right? I'm on it. And he's fucking always on it forever. And he's yelling at me because he wants it. And like I can hear him yelling, right? But I'm like, "Fuck you, man. I'm on this phone, right?" So I'm walking back to his room to give it to him, right? And I'm on it, but I'm walking back there to give it to him. And I said something smart ass to him, like, "You're always on this motherfucker." And as I turn the corner, I get hit with a fucking baseball bat in the face. Bam! But I'm on the phone. So now, and it wasn't like he swung it, he threw it. So he threw it from his bed across the room as I was walking into the doorway and just bink right in my fucking head. And I got pissed. I got so mad. And me and him got in this big ass fight because, but that was like just a normal day in the neighborhood with him. And then we got in that fight, and then that's why. And I guess I was 17 because I got my first apartment before I was like, literally I signed the thing like the week before I turned 18, so that when I turned 18 I would, and he had recently gotten hurt, so this fight happened like pretty soon after. I think I had just turned 17 when he got hurt or something like that. Because I actually um dropped out of school to take care of him. And one more story with him really quick, and then I'll tell a story about my pet raccoon. So this guy, like I said, he was always about his money, always about his business, whatever. So this guy, a guy that we know very, very well, right? I've known him for forever, since I was a child. Comes in, like, my dad's about his money, right? And I could tell you some crazy stories about having to go get money, pick up money, you know, all kinds of crazy gangster ass shit. But he this guy comes in, a guy I've known my whole life, and my dad's like, where's my money? Or to him, right? My dad's in his wheelchair, mind you. And in an electric wheelchair is very powerful. Like, it's 300 pounds without him in it. When he gets in it, it's 500 pounds, or close to it, because when he got hurt, he did lose weight, from just being paralyzed. But let's say 500 pounds. And it can carry a lot of weight. So if it hits you, it's going to fuck you up. Like, it's very, very powerful. And I watched him pin my cousin before to a couch. Like, he was flying, because it was fast too. It was really fast. So he flies up to my cousin, hits him in the legs because he's sitting on a couch, flies out of it, lands on my cousin, and is fucking drilling him, right? So, like, this thing is very powerful. Well, anyways, this guy walks in, and the guy walks in, and my dad's like, where's my money? And he says to my dad, he goes, he's like, what's wrong? Like, that's all he said. What's wrong? And my dad freaked out. Like, his chair, I seen that he freaked out because of the way his chair moved. The way his wheelchair moved. It went one way, another way, and that meant he's mad. And it went this way, and then just straight into the dude. And he pins him against a corner and starts punching him in the stomach. But my dad's paralyzed. He's not really that strong right now, right? So, he'd rather just shoot you than fight you. But this is somebody he knows very well. So he's punching this guy in the corner with his wheelchair, trapping him. I wasn't even worried about him punching the guy. I'm worried about this guy's legs, because this wheelchair has pinned him against the wall. I didn't see it. Damn. Oh. Thank you, man. Just subscribe to Patreon. Now your newest Patreon. Thank you, Jim, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. You're going to be, make sure it's for at least 3 bones so that you can be in the giveaway, because I got a big giveaway coming up. And then you'll be entered into it, since I haven't put the video out yet. But yeah, man, that shit was crazy. And I'm just sitting there like, another day in the neighborhood. Anyways, so I used to have a pet raccoon. On to another story. I used to have a pet raccoon. And this raccoon, when I got it, it was just a baby, like a little tiny baby. And at first, when we got it, it was trapped in a cage, right? Because a lady found it on the side of a road. Its mother had been hit, and it was on the side of a road in a drain pipe. And she got it, trapped it somehow, however, and brought it to me, because she knew, like, I loved animals. I trained animals. I was really good with them, yada, yada, yada. And I loved exotic shit. So I had already had a lot of exotic animals. So, yeah, yes, sir. So she drops it off to me, and it's aggressive inside the cage. It's scared, right? It's scared. It doesn't know what's going on. It can barely see because it's daytime. So it's like, hissing and lunging, right? But it's a little baby. So I said, fuck it. I opened up the cage, because I know it's just a baby. Like, yeah, it could probably bite you, but what's it going to do? It's a baby. So, as soon as I let it out of the cage, I had these leather gloves on. These leather gloves are like welding gloves. And I just picked it up, scooped it up, and I held it like this. I held it like gently, right? I held it gently, and I just held it softly. And because at first, when I went to grab it, it kind of fought. Well, it instantly calmed down when I held it. Like you could tell it felt gentle, right? It felt the gentleness. So when I put him down, the second I put him down, he was attached. Literally, and I know that sounds crazy, right? Like that. I set him down and he started crying for me to pick him back up and started following me because he doesn't have his mother no more. He's like, this is mama, this is new daddy or whatever. So when I went to walk off, he started crying, trying to follow me. So I got him hooked now. And when you get a raccoon hooked, you never have to worry about losing them because they will never leave your side. You know, a raccoon on the mother, they attach themselves to the mother, right? So they hang on the mother. If you ever watch a raccoon like with babies, the babies hang on the mother. So they do the same thing to you. So everywhere you go, you got a raccoon hanging from you. And if you set it down, it won't let you get more than like 6 feet away before it'll run and attach itself to you. So you never have to worry about losing it. And if for some reason it doesn't see you move like more than 10 feet, it'll try to chase you. And then once it realizes you're too far away, it'll sit down and scream or cry. So because it's trying to call you back and it can't see you because, you know, it's a raccoon. They can't see very well in the daytime. I mean, if it's nighttime, obviously they can see you, but during the day, they can't see you. Steel forged in fire, sword and knife, 5 bones. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, I'll be back on Saturday, Jared. I can't leave you. I appreciate that. So when you get too far away, they just cry or they'll chase you down and hang on you. So I had this coon for a while, and everywhere I went, this damn coon was attached to me. But they have issues with leaving you. So if you leave them, they'll sit there and just scream and cry, and they have attachment issues. So I'd have to get babysitters for my raccoon. So I'd have babysitters. And sometimes because I had like I'd like be walking them down the street, like in the middle of the hood, and cars would go by and just dead stop and look over and be like, is that a fucking raccoon? And I'd say, no, it's a Shih Tzu, or no, it's a Pomeranian or something. They'd look at me like I was crazy. Like, what? I never seen no Shih Tzu like that. But yeah, so eventually he started getting bigger. Now he's territorial. So now he doesn't want animals near me. No animals near me. Like he'll fight you. And he was fine with the animals when he was younger. He played with them, he cuddled with them. But when he got a little older, he's wanting to fuck them up now, like especially if they're getting more attention. And he has hands. So since he has hands, he can get into anything. He can open doors, open jars, open lids, open cabinets, open everything. And so I'd have to be careful with him. Then he got a hold of some weed. And he got a hold of some weed and he was hooked. And I know that sounds crazy and most people won't understand. How could a raccoon get hooked on weed? I don't even know. But he went crazy about it, and he would look around. Like girls would walk in, right? Females would walk in, and I'd tell them right away, hey, if you got fucking weed on you, hide it in your purse and make sure it's zipped up. Because I don't want to hear about how I owe you a quarter ounce or $100 or whatever because my raccoon ate your shit. And they'd be like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 10 minutes later, my fucking coon is ripping their bag out of their purse and running across the damn floor. You get in the corner and just rip it up as fast as possible, shoving it in his mouth. Fucking bitches going crazy. My weed, you know, and I told you to hide that shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't know you a dime, bitch. I ain't paying you nothing because I told you about my pet raccoon. And, you know, you probably thought I was joking when I said I had a pet raccoon in here, but you probably thought I was kidding. But I was serious when I said I have a weed eating raccoon in this bitch. And this thing was nuts, man. Like even like with pipes and stuff, like we had a gravity bong, And a gravity bong is it's like a Hinkley and Schmidt jug, and you have a barrel of water, and you push it down in the water. That thing would get up on top of it and try to catch the smoke as it was coming out. And I'm not saying we were trying to give it to it, but we might have once or twice, right? But yeah, he was crazy about that shit. And it got so bad that like I had to like prevent it from being around, because it's a lot of money. Right? It's a lot of money to lose, because he'd gobble it so fast. Like, it's like, it would just, he has hands. So he has hands. So he would just right into his mouth, it's gone. And you just see crumbs and a bag ripped apart, everywhere. And, but after a while though, he grew into, I guess a young adult, and now he's getting so territorial that it's hard to keep them now. Once they get to a certain age, they're awesome. They're like puppies until they reach a certain age. But then they reach a certain age and they're so genius. They're so smart that they figure things out. Like, they watch you. They'll see what you're doing if they can see, because they are also kind of blind. But I tried to let him go, right? On the property, right? Not like just anywhere, but on the property. Of course I can't let him go on the property. He's just gonna come back in. So he's fucking opening windows and shit. I think he's gone. Next thing I know, he's sitting next to me. Like, so it's like, fuck, man. So a while goes by, and like I said, other animals, he was getting so territorial that even females, girls, would like sit next to me. He wasn't having it. Like, I don't know, this bitch has got to go. Like, he would get mad and he'd scare people because now he's getting aggressive, and he wouldn't hurt them or nothing. He was fine. Like, he was just being threatening. Like, he wouldn't hurt them, but he would threaten them. And most people are terrified of raccoons. So, and he could see it, right? He knows you're scared of him. So, shut the fuck up, Maurice. but yeah, and then, his hands, since he has hands, he's getting into everything, climbing on everything. And he just got to a point to where it was like, all right, I got to get rid of him. So I actually contacted the lady that actually gave him to me. She took him for a little bit. She had a better environment for him. And then eventually we contacted a place, I think in Tennessee, if I remember correctly. And it was a raccoon farm for domesticated raccoons, because he was a domesticated raccoon. He couldn't go in the wild. Like, he'd see you and probably come steal your weed. So you can't just let him go. And since he knows people so well, he just walked right up to you, right? So he went to that farm and, lived happily ever after with a bunch of other domesticated raccoons. But he was awesome. I named him Coon Dog. That was his name. Coon Dog. Jared the Coon Whisperer. Yep. I've whispered a lot of animals. A lot. I've always been an animal person. So, I've always been really good at training animals and everything. And he was well trained. He was a good pet. It's just he's a raccoon. Right? It's different. It's not like a dog. Their instincts are different. They're obviously, the body's different. They're how territorial they are is completely different. Like, it's not on the same level as like a dog. When do you think the shark lock Demcos will come back? Probably not too long. I imagine not too long. I bet they didn't give him weed. I know. Kind of felt bad about that though. Give him his last bag on the way. Hey, listen, man, this is the last one you're going to be able to get, all right? You got to go to rehab now. I didn't mean to, I deliberately gave it to him a couple times. All the rest of the times was on his own and was unwanted. Raccoon says, ma'am, you got a joint? Jared, nah, not on me. Raccoon, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. That's a good movie. I've heard some Magna Cut 80 20.5s were coming soon. Really? That's awesome. I'm trying to get or I am going to get hopefully one of the Magna Cut You got one. The tactile knives or whatever. Somebody corrected me when I called it a tactile turn because they're like, that's their pens. Like, okay. Oh, what's their knives? Tactile knives? Tactile knife. Whatever their tactile knives are called. The one when the thumbs, because I think the Magna Cut ones are going to be the thumb stud ones. M390 or 20 CV, same thing. Same thing. It's just like 204p, 20 CV, and M390 are basically the same thing. I'd probably say 20 CV if I had to say one, or 204p, but they're the same. Magna Cut is a new steel that's coming out that's supposed to be like the super steel of the century. It's really tough. It's stainless, and it's supposed to have incredible edge retention. So it's supposed to have the triangle, right? We want a triangle when we look for steels. We want toughness, stain resistance, edge retention, and it's going to have all three. So it's going to be supposed to be incredible, and it's supposed to be easier for, or not easier, but relatively easy for companies to deal with. So it should be relatively easy for them to heat treat and grind. So I hope so. So I'm waiting for that. Magna Cut is some awesome stuff, at least with the ones I've heard that from everybody though. I've yet to have heard somebody. Now listen, I also understand. I understand that there is the domino effect, right? One person that's what's the word for it? That people trust, believe, and look up to, or just, they trust their opinion. They say something, then the next person who gets it and tries it is going to say the same thing. And the domino effect, right? I understand the domino effect. However, I've seen many people talk about it, and majority of them have been very impressed and have all agreed about how, yeah, reputation, right? When somebody with a big reputation says something, then all of a sudden everybody just kind of echoes the same thing. But I've heard of them giving the steel to other people and just letting them run with it and see what they think, like Demco and stuff. And everybody from across the board is basically saying the same thing. So I have no doubt that it's not incredible. And when you have a steel that is designed and made by Laren Thomas, somebody who is a big advocate and a doctor in metallurgy, when he designs steel, and he specifically does it for knives because that's what he's into. Where he works is different, but I'm just saying, like, he really is, a steel nerd. So when he designs a steel, you can imagine it's probably going to be pretty amazing. I will send you my Mako when I get it back to post up. Awesome, man. Hell yeah. Give it time. Someone will screw up the heat treat. Watch and see. Well, of course, right? Of course. Once this is the thing. And just like with any steels, that's why. And I don't know how difficult it is to heat treat. I've heard it's relatively easy. That's one of the benefits, but I can't verify that. But there are steels that are made to be heat treated fast on production levels, like 14C28N. However, there's other steels that are not, right? And even though they might do amazingly well for a long time, once they start getting into the hands of makers that are trying to bring it to you for a very on the low, right? It's like, oh, we got M390 for $15.99. Once you start getting to that, they're cutting corners. They're not doing the recipe right. They're doing everything wrong with it, which, yeah, you'll be able to get it, and it will not be the same. Of course, there's going to be that. Eventually, there's going to be that once there's enough of it and everybody's got it. And, because it sounds like this is going to be a very popular steel. It sounds like it's going to be like the next big deal. Like, how we went from S30V to S35V, and then all of a sudden we went to 20CV M390, right? Now, that's what you get. You get S35 or M390. Well, it's gonna. Well, S45 came out for about 2 minutes, right? But it's just going to fill all that in. I think eventually we're not going to see no more M390. We will only see MagnaCut. And people will look down on M390 or 20CV as a steel. And I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow. I'm saying eventually it's going to get that way. And it probably won't be too long. Maximate versus MagnaCut. Well, we're talking about two different things there. So Maximate is going to have better edge retention, but MagnaCut's going to be tougher. So you're going to be able to do things with MagnaCut that you can't do with Maximate. Like one, very thin grinds. Number two, fixed blades. You can't do MagnaCut or Maximate and fixed blades. It'll chip. It's not good for it. So you're going to be able to do things with it that you can't do with Maximate. And Maximate, yes, will have better edge retention, but it's not stainless. MagnaCut is stainless. To have a tough steel in stainless with insane edge retention, there's not many steels, right? Like we have a couple, but for the most part, that is the difficult thing to do. We can get one or the other. You're either going to get a stainless or you're getting a non-stainless, right? You're either getting a tough steel or you're getting a steel with high edge retention. To get everything in one, we try, and we have steels out there that are the best they can be right now, but that's why we're always pushing for that next thing. Right. It's so hard to have a tough stainless, right? It's just, and not long ago, it was impossible, right? It was just impossible. And then just like with, like that's why, like when some of these steels come out, like Vanax, right? Vanax is, in my opinion, is probably like the best thing you can get. Sorry, guys. But Vanax is like rust proof, basically, right? And it has really good edge retention. It's got, it's such a good steel, but we can't get it. We can't ever see it. He got going. No, he's just been talking for 2 hours. No, it's we have some incredible steels right now. We do, but we're always looking for better. Always. We're always looking for the next best thing and something that can be consistent. And like certain steels are just too expensive, like Vanax. Vanax is expensive and rare. Now, Maximate, who's using Maximate? Spyderco? That's it. You don't see Maximate anywhere else because it's so hard to deal with. Nobody wants to grind it. Nobody wants to deal with it because when you heat treat Maximate to its optimal HRC, it's so fucking hard. They're gonna go through so many belts to grind it. Put it this way: I just had a company, a budget. I'm not. No, let me take that back. I had a company, a relatively newer company. They've been around for like a year or two. They contacted me. They've never used S9DV, right? So they tried it. They made some prototypes. They made some in S9DV, and they were like, "Yeah, we made one, but it's not the best. Like we ground it, and it didn't come out that good. Like we're gonna send you one, but just so you know, like it's our first batch. We're learning, right? It's not the best. They had trouble grinding it. Of course they did, right? So same thing with like Maximate, but times 5 or whatever. They're gonna burn through belt after belt, and then they have to charge you for those belts. So like you can say, I wish so and so company had Maximate. You probably don't, because the price that they would charge you for the belts that they would need to use to grind Maximate at the HRC that you would want it at, you don't want to pay that price. And you turn around and say, well, Spyderco can do it for this much, right? But Spyderco has been doing it for a while, so they have their shit down, and they're a bigger company, so they can they probably buy more belts at a lower cost, and they probably have a deal with a company that makes them and all of those things, so they can probably bring it to you for a little bit cheaper. But if you guys don't know, look at the prices of some of these knives. They're going up. Benchmade's went up, Spyderco's have gone up. inflation is happening. Facts. I don't even know why I didn't mention that. And then the tooling, it's their CNC machine, their bits. Those bits are so expensive. And to go through those, they'll burn through them so fast that they have like it's not possible. It's not like you can take another steel, like say Austin or 154 CM, and compare it. It's not just the steel cost. Like I heard somebody the other day, right? They said you can get M390 for this much. It's like, I it's like, listen, buddy, you don't make no sense by saying that. It doesn't matter how much you can buy a brick of M390 for. How much is it to heat treat, grind, and tool, right? That's the cost. It's not just about the brick of the steel, right? Because he was trying to argue with me. It's not a super steel. If it was a super steel, it wouldn't be so cheap. You can get it for this. It's like, you think that my knife, right, with a blade that's ground and fit and heat treated and all that you're supposed to basically pay the prices of the raw material? Are you out of your mind? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But people don't grasp that, the difficulty levels. And then a heat treater told me the other day, the difference between an HRC, like say the difference between 59 to 60 is, I don't quote me on the numbers here, but I'm just shitting out numbers here, so don't fucking fact check me. So like between 59 and 60 will be like a 7% difference. But then the difference between like 60 and 61 will be like a 15% difference or something like that. Like I said, the numbers, I'm lying about the numbers right now, but it's a dramatic difference. Now the difference between like 61 and 62 or 62 and 63, it dramatically goes up. So even though on the lower numbers, it goes up a little bit, with the difference between the numbers when they're higher, it's a dramatic jump. So you're talking about one, yes, the edge retention goes through the roof, but it gets a lot harder. So it's way harder to grind, way harder to tool and deal with and just do everything to get it to you the way you want. Sasa, I worked at a machine shop for a year, and wow, each tool in that CNC was stupid expensive, and they were only machining soft steel, right? Right. It's when you're doing aluminum and stuff like that, like you can't even compare it when you start talking about doing titanium now or hardened steel. The products are worth the materials and the effort and the supplies to make the final product, right? Yes, I am just talking out of my ass now. Ask Elon Musk for his vibranium. There you go. I don't even know what that stuff is. I have a friend. I have a friend who is a raccoon and wants to give a guy named Jared a donation. He's a little shy, so Maurice will see that you get it. It's exponential, right? It is exponential. It's a giant jump. Like it's off the charts. The difference. That's why when we talk about rock studs, ZDP 189, right? ZDP 189 at 5960 HRC is steel, right? It's like it's steel. It's okay. When you talk about heat treating it at 66.3 HRC, to the moon. Like the edge retention goes up. It's so hard. It's like glass. That's why it's so insane. And that's why when people see it that actually know what they're thinking about, EDC tried to drill a hole through my Mordax to add thumb studs and broke 4 bits in the process. That shit was hard. That's hilarious. I know what you mean. I used to have to drill hardened steel at this one job I was at. Man, it would take me forever. And I would have to keep it cool too with oil. And it just, man, it would take me so long. I'd go through bits, break bits, burn bits, just everything. Um, I was gonna say something, I forget now. Um, I had a dude the other day, and I'm not trying to shit on the commenters. I hope nobody thinks I am. I'm just bringing up because these are things that other people are probably wondering too, right? So he looked at the rock stud in the video and said something like, "Oh, that thing doesn't look like basically like saying like that it looks like a shit knife. Like, why would it be $1,000? Yada yada yada. You can get a gas station knife that's better." And he was being serious, like he wasn't joking. I know that sounds like a joke, but I had to explain to him like, you're looking at the knife itself. I said, I beg you to go and watch any video, not mine. You don't have to get my my opinion. Watch any video from any reviewer and listen to what they say about rock studs. Then come back and tell me what you think, because they're going to tell you about those things that do make it incredible. I'm not saying it is worth it or not worth it. I'm saying the levels they go to make a rock stud are so up and beyond what other companies do. That's why they're so expensive. Vibranium versus animadium. Carbide bit are what you should use to drill a hole for a stud, because it won't heat up your blade as much as other types of bits. You could definitely ruin the heat treat with that much heat. Yeah, that's what I use when I cut even choils in or anything. I use a carbide cutting bit. Larry Thomas had perfected the recipe for heat treat before sending it out to makers. Right, of course, but we're gonna see the makers that wing it. Like there's gonna be the makers that wind, and I'm not talking about like USA makers. I'm talking about like overseas makers when they finally get their hands on it, and we see it start getting more mainstream. Right, when we start seeing it on, X company, that's when we'll start seeing the heat treat get fucked up. You will have to wonder, like, did they do it right? Because they're going to try to sell it to you for $100 less than all these other companies, right? It's like right now you can get it for $280, or you can go over to this company and get it for $150. Wink, wink. All right. You're going to have to deal with them learning the process, even if they have the recipe. In order for them to bring it to you at that price, it won't it won't probably be possible. And if it is possible, it's still going to be a learning curve for them. And even if they have the recipe, for them to make that many in order for it to be beneficial to them, because you got to look at the profit ratio. Like if they're making a profit, they are for sure making a profit. So you got to wonder, what corner did you cut to make that profit? You always have to look at that. Now, obviously, steels get cheaper eventually, like D2 right now. You can get it for about as cheap as water, right? Before tooling and grinding and everything else. I don't know how much it is. I'm just talking shit. But my point is that's why they can give it to you for so cheap, and do it decently. I'm saying, like the companies that are doing a decent job on it. It's that $5 thumb stud you can add with a simple extra. Oh, the quick stud. But obviously, it can be added to any knife as long as it's not over a certain thickness. I forget what the thickness is, 4 millimeters or something like that. As long as it's not over a certain thickness, it'll fit. Austin wants a shark lock so bad. Well, I technically got one. I thought about selling, but I don't know. I don't know. Because I got the real thing, and I don't really use my 20.5 really. What's the difference between the 20 and 20.5? One is a production. One's made by the guy himself who invented it, and the other one is made in Taiwan in mass production with AUS 10 steel, FRN handles, and a mini version. I can show you the difference. Oh, shit. We'll do this really quick and then we'll get out of here. Where'd it go? Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's in here. So this is the real deal. This is the 80-20 raw business, badass, toughest knife in history. Fucking thing is a vault. Literally, it's a vault. Company got a hold of Demco and said, hey, can you make a vault out of that? And he said no. So, but they wanted to. That's a joke, obviously. This is the 20.5. So 20.5. Big difference in size. They do come with both blade shapes, this blade shape and this blade shape. The drop point, clip point, whatever you want to call it, and the shark's foot. But they both have the shark lock. Shark lock is incredibly strong. So it's super strong. Like I think this one can hold 250 pounds per square inch. And you see how fidgety it is. And listen to the sounds. But once you lock it up, it's like a vault. It's rock solid. You're not gonna break this. You're not gonna fail. You could stand on this thing and it ain't gonna budge. And then this one's the same thing, but it's just a smaller, you know, it's not as tough. Like it's not this. This is the Volt. This is like a deadbolt, right? But it's still badass. So I'll give it that. It's still badass. I don't know about the steel. Like I like OS 10. I do. I'm just not sure about this OS 10, to be honest. It's okay. I'm not saying it's horrible or anything like that. I don't know. I've got a bunch of OS 10 and maybe it was just me though, because I need to put a new edge on it. So I need to resharpen it. I could have cut some fucked up shit with that. Yeah, this is like one of those knives. You could cut some fucked up shit. The only thing is you got thick geometry. This is not, I mean, it'll slice. And especially if you lay back the edge, I mean, I did a review on it. It slices good, but it's a tank. This thing is made for hard use shit. And when you have a knife made for hard use shit, it's not going to be the best slicer. Now, where it makes it up for it is the ergos, because this is like super comfortable. I mean, you can put all the force you want into this and it won't hurt your hand. So at least mine, it won't. How much would you sell it for? I don't know, probably what I paid. I mean, what are they going for right now? $350? I'm just joking. I need to put a new edge on it. But after sharpening it up, I know it's been used, but it hasn't really been that hard used or anything. It's had one edge put on it, so another edge would be two edges, but it'd be my edge, so you know it's going to be good. And then I'd probably just sell for what I paid for it. I've never tried any. I've never tried them, so I really don't. I mean, my opinion on them by look, they look badass, but I've never tried one. I've heard they're really good. I heard they're tough. I heard they're badass. I've never tried one though, so I don't have an opinion on them personally, but I think they look cool. Ordering a javelin from BGM Knives in MagnaCut. Yeah, Metallica's got a knife in MagnaCut coming too. A ballad song that's Trainer Bro, but Breeze is like, I'm not that talented. Check out that mirror edge. But yeah, I didn't notice, like, I don't know, maybe it will now that I've had one sharpening on it. I'm hoping that it was just a burnt edge that was on it. I think it was. I think this next edge will improve. And like I said, maybe it was me. because, you know, if it comes from the same factory as Cold Steel, I would imagine the AUS 10's got to be the same as Cold Steel's too. But then I wonder, like, was it rushed, you know, just because they did try to get it out really quick? This thing is awesome, though. Listen to that lockup. I mean, it's not the 20, but it's still badass. I do not have a KPL link. They don't like me. They only like guys that are left-handed, and that's it. I don't know. Oh, and people that like bees. That's it. Bees and lefties. That's all they like. They don't like me. It happens. It's pretty common now. Now, a lot of hinders are ran soft. Not all. Even Chris Reeve knives. People make it seem like Chris Reeve knives are like the end all be all S35 heat treat. They're not. They're really not. They do run them a little soft. There's even the guy that drills holes, that puts the holes in a lot of knives for the reverse flick. The guy who does, not saying the only guy, but there's a guy out there that does a majority of the Sabenzas with the holes. He talks about it all the time, like that they are super soft. He can drill those holes so fast, and he drills a lot of holes. So, like, it's not like he doesn't drill holes in other knives too, and he can tell like that they're soft. So, and I know they switched to S45, but I don't know what that says. You think they would? I'll be careful with what I'm about to say. Deacon, thank you, man. Thank you for the donation, Deacon. You're awesome, man. A lot of people might argue that you should have just improved and made your S35 harder instead of using another steel. But who, you know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I've heard people say that. And their S45 might be done harder than their S35. I don't know. I've sharpened some S45 and it's pretty good, but I do like it a bit better than S35. I'm not going to say a lot better, but I do like it a little bit better. All good knives. All good knives. Those are some good buys right there. All right, guys, I think it's about that time. We're at 10:01. We're a little late. 20K, man. This is amazing. Fucking incredible. I can't believe we hit 20K. But as of right now, we're still holding strong. We did go back up for a second. We went back up to 5.1 thousand followers for every 28 days. Then we went back down to 5. So we're at 5,000 followers for every 28 days. It might start going back down. But we'll see. I'm going to try to keep Jim. It's 4 a.m. there. Holy shit. Gonna have to get to bed, man. Or wake up, one of the two. Oh shit, Breeze got it. Breeze got it. There is the link to KPL if you guys want to get some KPL. I can get affiliate links for KPL. I usually put it in my videos just so you guys know, and then I make a little bit of a profit. But yeah, there's a link right there. Now, thank you to all the patron members, and just know there is an amazing giveaway coming up for you guys. Really badass for the 20K for all the support. And I thank all the moderators. The only one that's left in here is Breeze. Thank you, Breeze. You got a package on the way, by the way. I didn't send you the tracking, but it's on the way. I think it'll be there. I don't know. It'll be there soon. And I thank all the donators tonight. Thank you so much. I see everybody's checking out already. You guys might have been tricked right now. I could have just fucking like started saying goodbye just to be like, and everybody who's left, here's a giveaway. But I'm not. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate you guys so much, and everything you guys do, all the comments, all the likes. You guys have no idea. You guys are like family, and it's amazing. We've gone so far. This channel's getting so big, and it's getting so big that literally for the second time ever, I didn't answer some comments. No reason why was because just like the original time when I didn't, they dropped all of a sudden, like 1,000 comments that must have been getting checked by YouTube or something. And literally, I scrolled for 10 minutes straight and couldn't get to the bottom of them. So I left a bunch undone, right? But for the most part, I do answer every single comment you guys make. I read them all. If I liked it, I read it. I promise you, I will never like a comment if I didn't read it. So I know some content creators, they just go down and like everything. I don't do that shit. If it's liked, I read it. And thank you guys for everything. Shout out to Stasa23. Definitely go sub to his channel. And you guys are awesome, man. Peace.